Iman Gadzhi taught me one lesson about agency ownership. And after I learned it, I scaled my agency to $200,000 a month in less than a year. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you what that lesson is. But before I do, I wanna give you a little bit of context. If you're new here, my name is John Danes. I am the founder at agencyclients.com. I scaled my agency from $0 to $2 million a year. But before I did all that, I was a struggling agency owner. I was trying to get started. I was trying to get momentum. I tested a bunch of different offers and tested a bunch of different things. I bought programs. I tried literally everything before I actually found out what was working. And to give you a little context, I started my agency in 2020. And with that agency, we served real estate agents. And when I started, I had no money for ads, which was a blessing in disguise because now, after working with dozens of agency owners through agency clients, my one-on-one mentorship, but also through coaching tens of thousands of agency owners, actually in Iman Gadzhi's programs and other people's programs, I've learned that you don't want to turn on paid ads before you've actually validated your offer with Outbound. So this is kind of a side lesson, but you want to validate your offer with Outbound because when you start Outbound, it's hard. It's difficult. It's going to take you time to actually get clients with Outbound. But by doing that, you really have to validate that you have a good offer. And outbound prospects are by definition the coldest prospects. They don't really know who you are, what you do, or how you can help them. So if they buy your offer, your paid ads are going to work much better. So I actually scaled my agency to about $30,000 per month, all through Outbound. And once we got Outbound working, I decided that I wanted to turn on paid ads. I had seen Iman and a lot of other agency owners at that time that were having success with paid ads. So a lot of you probably know Iman as the Bruce Wayne, billionaire, online entrepreneur, but before he did all that, he was an agency owner and he was a very successful agency owner. He worked with info product businesses, some agencies, some coaching businesses with his agency, IEG Media. And he had a lot of success with that agency, as many of you probably know. When I started to run paid ads for my agency, we had a little bit of success, but even though we were a Facebook ads agency, I had never really scaled paid ads. So we were probably spending $100 to $200 per day. We were getting really good results with the ads, but I decided that I wanted to pay him to consult me and my business partner at the time on paid ads and how we can actually scale our paid ads. And I was really attracted to Iman's agency because Iman had all this social proof. He had all this trust. He had a big personal brand at the time, not nearly as big as it is now, but he had a pretty massive personal brand in the agency space. And obviously he had an agency coaching program. So he had a pretty good vantage point of what could make paid ads work for an agency. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, I want to pay you to consult me on my agency ads. I probably don't have enough money or enough ad spend to be a done for you client, but I would love to do some sort of done with you arrangement. We pretty quickly hopped on a call. I can pop up a screenshot of the call or have my editor do so. It was me, Danny, Iman, and my business partner, Adam. Iman gets on the call. He has the easiest lay down close ever with me. And we ended up paying him something like $8,000 or 6,000 pounds, British pounds at the time. I don't exactly remember the conversion rate, but we ended up paying him something like $8,000 to come in, audit our ads manager, rebuild our funnel, and then write some emails. And Iman gets on the call. He sells me. There wasn't really much of a sale that needed to happen because I was already pre-sold. And he told me, hey, here's the services that we're going to do for you. I paid for the services. And then I never spoke to him again. His team then did all of the fulfillment. His media buyers, he had 2 at the time, I believe, set up our ads in our funnel. His copywriter wrote all of our emails. And they did an amazing job. And I was super pleased with the results that we got working with Iman's agency. But this video is not a case study for Iman's agency, although they were great. The video is a lesson that really blew my mind. I'm thinking, Iman attracted me to his agency. Iman got on the call and sold me his agency services. And then his team went ahead and did all the fulfillment. And the crazy part is, I think he would even agree that his team did a better job at the fulfillment than he probably could because he actually spent time on higher leverage activities, parts of the business that needed him more than the fulfillment because he got really good at client acquisition, at growing his business, at creating content and doing things that are high leverage that are going to make money and that did make money, lots of money for his agency. And then his team would do all the fulfillment and he would just pay his team a percentage of the money that he made from the clients. And this really blew my mind because I had this preconceived notion that a lot of new agency owners have, which is if I'm going to sell something, I actually have to be the one delivering the services. And I think new agency owners really struggle with this. They think, how can I sell something if I'm not also fulfilling that thing? And the truth of the matter is, if you do all of the sales, all of the lead generation, all of the fulfillment for your clients, you're really never going to scale an agency. And I think Iman really understood this concept. He understood that there was parts of the business that he needed to be involved in, that if he was involved in, would make him tons of money. And with that money, he could then take it and pay his team to do all the fulfillment. And his team could do the fulfillment better than even he could. And this lesson went on to literally make me 7 figures a year as an agency owner for multiple years straight, because I realized that I had skill sets in the business that if I focused on and developed, I could then make so much money that I could actually hire the best fulfillment team in the world. And what ends up happening is you actually create a flywheel where you, as an agency owner, being outside of the fulfillment actually causes your business to grow even faster. And so what I mean by that is this. Let's say you, as an agency owner, do what I decided to do and get really good at client acquisition. You dive in and get really good at lead generation, at positioning, at offer, at sales, and then you build the infrastructure to have a awesome sales machine where your agency is producing tons of appointments and bringing in new clients every single day. What's then going to happen is you're going to have an influx of cash flow. With that cash flow, you're going to be able to hire really good team members and also invest into really good AI and really good operators who are amazing with AI. This is going to produce amazing results for your clients. So your clients are going to love you and they're going to love your service. Those clients are then going to turn into case studies. And then it's going to be easier for you to get more clients because you have tons of proof of you doing this already. This is the lesson that I learned from Iman. He got really good at brand. And I honestly think that he's one of the best branding experts in the space. You've seen what he's been able to do with his YouTube and his Instagram. So what he realized is, if I can focus on my brand, if I can focus on client acquisition, I'm going to make so much money that I can hire the best fulfillment team in the world. That fulfillment team can come in and serve clients like John or any of the other clients that he worked with, get them great results. They then turn into case studies that now he can use in his marketing and his sales process because his clients got great results. And that makes his sales process even easier. And this builds so much trust because you're not just the one that's having to manage everything yourself. Because trust me, I tried that and it was an absolute nightmare. You really have to look at your agency and think, what capacity can I honestly reach? Because a lot of the agency owners that I speak to, even if they're having success, whatever success is to them, whether that's 10K a month, 20K a month, 50K a month, for some it might be less. A lot of them can't honestly look in the mirror and say, if we doubled in size next month, we would be fine. And that's because they're doing all the fulfillment. And so to me, the real difference between an agency owner and just a contractor or a freelancer is the agency owner doesn't do every single part of their business. They focus on the areas of their business that need them the most. And the beautiful thing about this is not only does it compound in your agency, but it compounds in your skill set. If you woke up tomorrow and you only had one thing to focus on, let's just say it's your lead generation as an example, your lead generation and your sales, you would get so freaking good at lead generation and sales. And the thing is, your lead generation and sales would work better because your clients would be getting better results. But by you doing that every single day, you give yourself an ability to get so freaking good because it's all you focus on. And this is what happened with me. When I started to scale my agency, I was not involved in the fulfillment. And I actually, after learning this lesson from Iman, every client that we signed up never saw me again. It was really a value that I had at my agency, which was I will get them in the door. I will get them to pay that first invoice. And then after they pay that first invoice, it's on my team. My team is going to be the one doing the fulfillment. My team is going to be the one sending them the reports. My team is going to be the one having the check-in meetings and doing the onboarding and doing all of the client management because they're going to be able to do it better than I can. And they want to do it. This is another thing that people don't really understand. A lot of the people on Iman's team were very skilled and very talented, but they didn't have the aspirations to go and scale their own agency. His media buyers, as an example, were great at media buying, but they didn't want to go out and run their own agency. They wanted to focus on the highest leverage activities for them. And this really creates an amazing system in your agency because you're getting to focus on what you're good at and the skills that you're developing, i.e. client acquisition, but your team is getting to focus on what they're good at, i.e. fulfillment. And by doing that, you both get better and better and better. You get on more sales calls. You do more lead generation. You get better at these things. Your team onboards more clients. They do more fulfillment and they get better at those things. And you really put yourself in a position where you and the team members that you have at your agency get to become experts in their specific area of the business. And this allows you to scale a massive agency. And this is exactly what I did at my agency. And it's exactly what I do one-on-one with my clients. But I'm not really here to talk about that. I'm here to tell you that now with AI, this is even easier, because what used to happen is you would need to bring on all these team members and do all this fulfillment and hire all these people. And now a lot of the operational drag of agency ownership is removed with AI. You can really have one operator working with and managing AI, and they can handle so many more clients than they used to be able to. So if you're an agency owner right now and you're struggling and you don't really know what to focus on, you need to focus on getting cash into the door. There's a really good book called Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson, who is at Agora, a multi-billion-dollar publishing company. And what he talks about in the book is if you're in the $0 to $1 million per year range, you actually just suck at lead generation and sales. He says it very clearly. He says you don't have a product problem. You don't have a problem with your fulfillment. You don't have any of these other issues that everyone thinks they have, by the way. You just suck at lead generation and sales. You hear Hermosi say the same thing. If you're under $3 million a year, I think he says, then you have an attention problem. You're not getting enough attention and converting that attention into clients. And this is really a theme that I see all throughout the agency space, but every single day I talk to agency owners who still don't get it yet because they're afraid to sell if they don't know how to do the fulfillment. But the truth of the matter is all of that time that you spend doing fulfillment is time that you're taking away from your lead generation and your sales. And the truth of the matter is there is someone right now who is better at fulfillment than you ever will be, that you could pay a percentage of each client that you get that would be happy to do the fulfillment for you. And so the highest leverage activity is in the lead generation and the sales. That is what you as an agency owner have to master, is being the rainmaker and getting cash into the door. And the more cash you get into the door, the better people you're able to hire. And the better people you're able to hire, the better results you're gonna get for your clients. And then again, this just creates an amazing flywheel. You get better at sales, you hire better people, your clients get better results, and then you leverage that proof and those results to get more sales. And this is why the agency model is such an amazing model. You know, I've been in this space for almost 10 years now, and I've seen so many models come and go. Amazon FBA, drop shipping, high ticket sales. There's been so many throughout the years, crypto, day trading, but there's a reason that the agency model is still alive and well, because it really is the model where you can create the most leverage. But it's also a trap if you run it the wrong way. Because if you run it the wrong way and you do all the fulfillment and you do all the sales and you do all the lead generation, you do all the onboarding and all the client communication, you're never gonna get good at any of those things, and then you're just gonna be a mediocre agency owner. And I'm not saying that you couldn't make $10,000 or $15,000 per month wearing every single hat in your agency. You absolutely can, but you'll hate it. Trust me, I talk to agency owners who are doing $15K a month and taking home $10,000 per month in profit, and they hate their life because they have built their agency fundamentally wrong, where they're inside of every single part of it. And when you're inside of every part of it, again, you never really get the opportunity to get good at anything. And this is what Iman taught me. And the craziest part is I didn't learn this through his programs. I learned it by actually watching and modeling him as one of his agency clients and seeing how much leverage he had in his business. And this is why he had a lot of success with his agency. And by the way, a very profitable agency. And when I implemented this, I went on to close 771 clients at my agency, and everyone thinks this is crazy, but I never spoke to any of them after they had paid. And that's really what building leverage in the agency model allows you to do. Once again, my name is John Daines. I'm the CEO and founder at agencyclients.com. We work one-on-one with agency owners to help them scale and really build that leverage so they can build a business, not only that makes a lot of cash flow, but that they actually enjoy. And like I said, it's easier to do now really than ever because of AI. So if you want to learn more about what we do at agencyclients.com and how I work one-on-one with agency owners, of course, there's no pressure. You can click the first link in the description. There's also a case study that you're going to find as well on how I scaled my agency from $0 to $2 million a year. A little bit more tactical. You're going to see some of the specific things that we did and even some of the things that we work with our clients on. If it's your first time here, like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. I love you lots, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.